Hey, this is Mariela from The Functional Company. So today I want to talk about cholesterol. I want to give you an overview of how it works because this is one of those points of confusion and fear for a lot of people because we've been told to avoid cholesterol at all costs, and when it's been associated with saturated fat and clogging arteries and just something that's going to basically harm us. But if we really see how cholesterol works, we can see that it's actually one of our teammates. It's something that's doing something very valuable for the body. So we can either consume cholesterol through foods, or we can, our body can actually produce cholesterol. And this is why sometimes you can see somebody who eats low fat, completely low fat, or avoids fat altogether and still has high cholesterol. The reason for that is because we have an internal mechanism that shuts on and off depending on whether or not our body requires more cholesterol. So it's not enough to say, okay, I'm going to avoid cholesterol and then I'm not going to have cholesterol in the body. That's impossible. Look, our sex hormones, our stress hormones, these require cholesterol in order to be produced. It's a precursor. So of course, if you want to have hormones, you need to have cholesterol. Cholesterol is very important for the brain. It's important for so many different functions in the body, but this is the thing. If you look at cholesterol, it's the reason it's been associated with these clogging arteries and stuff. It's like, let's say you open up a heart and you find cholesterol there in the plaque or in the clogged artery, and you're like, oh yes, this is the reason, we got to get rid of this. This is the cause of the heart attack. Okay, well let's say, imagine that your friend's house burned down and you rush over there and you see some firefighters there putting out the fire. Are you like, oh my gosh, the firefighters are the cause of the fire? No. You know, it's not enough to say, okay, that's what we found in the heart or the artery. What if they were putting out the fire? That is exactly what's happening with cholesterol. Cholesterol, they're like little band-aids that go to patch up areas that are inflamed or damaging tissue. So they're really our friend. But the thing is that, what we have to ask is more, what's causing the fire to begin with? The inflammation that's damaging either the arterial wall or some other part of the body. So that's the main question we have to ask. And when you figure out what's causing the inflammation, there are certain things, certain areas that we can kind of look at. One of them is an overconsumption of sugar and insulin in the body. That's going to greatly cause inflammation in the entire circulation. So that's one thing to look out for. If the person's over-consuming carbohydrates, sugar, and consistently stimulating insulin, they're going to have a more inflamed circulatory system and body overall. Another thing is their toxins. You know, if you smoke a lot or you're inhaling a lot of toxins depending on what your work is, you could also have more inflammation in the body, which would require your body to produce more cholesterol in order to patch up these areas. And then stress is also another point that really causes a lot of inflammation for the body. Chronic stress in some regard, or like a hidden infection, which is something that it's like a fire that your body's trying to put out through the immune system. So these are the main areas. It doesn't mean that there couldn't be another cause, but these are the main areas we want to really look for and handle to make sure that our body is not continuously in a state of inflammation. So if we have too many toxins in our food or through our work, we're inhaling them or we're eating them, or we're basically stressed all the time, or we're over-consuming carbohydrates and sugar, these are all things that we really have to control and minimize. So if you take out the inflammation or the thing that's causing the fire, then your body doesn't have to overproduce cholesterol in order to patch up the fire, and your cholesterol controls naturally. And so that's the other thing to know. It's like you can eat cholesterol, and if your body has enough, it'll shut off the internal mechanism of production of cholesterol. So this internal mechanism is a checks and balance, you know, and it's something that it's an incredible mechanism that the body has. So it's not like, oh, avoid it at all costs. What we want to do is really reduce the amount of inflammation in the body so it doesn't require the internal production of cholesterol. And that way our body will maintain in a much healthier state overall. So this is one of the things with cholesterol lowering drugs, is that they shut off the internal mechanism of cholesterol production. So some of those side effects are like fatigue and muscle cramps, these things that require these processes that actually require cholesterol, hormone changes and imbalances, you know. So you want to shut off cholesterol because you're afraid of it. So you take this, drug that shuts off your body's ability to produce cholesterol. But now you can have chronic inflammation and you can have other side effects So from my personal viewpoint, I think that it's much better to think with this and say, okay, if there's a lot of cholesterol in my body, that means there's some inflammation. What are the points of inflammation that I can actually control? Okay, so how's my stress? Okay, how's my sugar intake? Okay, how intoxicated is my body? Do I need to detox, or do I need to stay away from certain toxins? These are the things to handle, and then the cholesterol on its own will regulate, right? So there's more information, a lot more to know on cholesterol, but this is just an idea that I want to kind of share with you to really flip your mindset in terms of how to view cholesterol, because it's really our friend. It's required for the brain to function, for the cells to function. It's required for hormones to be produced. So it's not something that's attacking us, but it's if it's very high, it's an indication there could be some inflammation. Another point is that sometimes you can see very high cholesterol with people who have thyroid problems. So it could be an indicator there, like if you have suddenly your cholesterol spikes a lot, you might also have to check your thyroid to see if that's getting a little wacky. So it's not just like, oh my gosh, cholesterol is a problem, it's going to come kill me or something like that. And that's really the thing with the body processes. I think when we don't understand, we think that something's attacking us and it's going to harm us, but when we really understand what it's trying to do for us, and that's part of what helps us flip our mindset to really understand how the body is working for us and what we need to do in terms of our actions to help it along so it could do its job properly. All right, hopefully that was helpful for you in terms of cholesterol and just getting a little bit more information. Some of the resources I would recommend, there's a book called Cholesterol Myths. I'll put a little icon here so you can check it out. And then you've got Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who's fantastic. She gives a really great explanation of cholesterol, how it works in the body, a little more technical for all of you guys who want to kind of geek out on this stuff. Yeah, I think those would be, and Chris Masterjohn is fantastic also to actually look him up and listen to him talk about cholesterol and how it works in the body. All right, thanks so much for tuning in, and share this information with anybody you think could benefit, and I will see you on the flip side.